Good morning once again. Welcome to another episode of Let's Create Africa. I mean, what can we say about this show? So far, so good. And what's happening today again is highlighting another leader called Sylvia Mochabo. Miss MS Sylvia Mochabo, PWD advocate, Miss Africa Elite 2020. Habari gani?
Salama sana.
Thank you very much for joining me today. I wanted to ask Sly, before we even proceed, please tell people your official credentials. You know, people think I'm kidding when I'm saying you're Miss Africa.
Mochabo. I am run a company called Tech Hub, tech events, and Tech Hub Enterprises. So in general, we handle graphic design, printing, and branding. Okay. Apart from that, I am also a co-director in Ariba Craft, where we create support aid for learning students, but now more custom in terms of like the Arabic, Swahili. If you need something to assist your child, that's what we do in that department. And I am also the founder of Andy Speaks for Miss Africa, as he said, reigning 2020, Miss Nation, and Miss Elite of Africa. Those are the three titles I'm currently holding. I am also the, I'm trying to remember everything. I am also the patron for Makadara Sub-County, the Scouts Commission. I'm the patron for the Scouts for Makadara Sub-County, yes.
How exactly do you do all this? And what does the title, I mean, you come wearing many hats, so what exactly does that entail?
A lot of discipline, aligning your passion, aligning what you're good at, your skills, and also I always believe in everything that comes your way, you have to going to intertwine and how it's going to build you as an individual.
So I would like to get into it. Do you have a presentation for us?
Do one. Just
once in a while, so I hope I won't lose out on that.
No, sorry about that one. And
we'll be back after this break. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us again for Let's Create Africa, where we highlight change makers and leaders in Africa. Today we have Miss Sylvia Mochabo, Miss Africa Elite 2020, and also the PWD advocate. Well, as we are continuing, I would like you also to get online and talk to us. Let us know the questions that you have for her. Let us hear from you. Please, if you have any question for her, it's now a good time to actually send them in. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So please let us hear from you, and also YouTube. But we are also live here on the station. The text message number is 20146. Let us hear from you. I'm waiting from you. Sylvia, so let's continue on this. You may please proceed on your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Waihiga. Let me just dive into it and share my screen with you so that we can take you through. I hope you can see my screen well. Can you?
Yes.
I mentioned earlier, I am the founder of Andy Speaks, which is a rights-based organization for persons with neurodevelopmental disabilities. And we're championing also for SDGs number 3, 4, 10, and 17, as you can see on your screen. So what generally we intend to do is to advocate for the inclusion and integration of persons with special needs. We educate the public and rally to have caregivers and the public embrace the difference that is neurodevelopmental disabilities. Most of the all we think about is someone on crutches, and
Sylvia, sorry, just a minute. Your share has disappeared.
it has.
Hey, but then it disappeared.
Yeah, nothing has changed on my side. It looks like technology is playing a fast one on us. You're good now?
I'll see you then.
What the first thing when you hear about disability, we've grown up is because people with albinism, someone with visual impairment, but then we have a special group, which is the neurodevelopmental disability or the neurodivergent. Normally, if my screen was sharing, you'd see then we have body which runs on communication from the brain to the rest of the body through our neurons and the neurological system. So you will find if any part of your brain gets affected, it will affect the general mobility, functionality, senses, and stuff like that of your body. And this is where now disability of the neurology system comes in. So you will find, for example, we have the most common, and I will take you through them just as quickly as possible so that we have a quick class on neurodiversity. So we have cerebral palsy, okay? And cerebral palsy in general is a disability that is caused by brain damage and normally happens before or during birth of the child. Within the first, during birth and the 3 to 5 years of a child's life, and it generally affects the body movement and muscle conditions of a child. As the word cerebral means, that's the brain, and all right, the physical disorders. So for cerebral palsy, children, depends on which part of your brain gets affected. So you will have a stiff muscles, uncontrollable movement, poor balance, or a mixed combination of either of this. And then you will find the same is called in Swahili, for the lovers of Swahili in the house, it is called utindi wa ubongo or ama kupuuza kwa ubongo. And normally the general month that we celebrate awareness of cerebral palsy is in October. Then we have autism spectrum disorder. Autism is an umbrella term for developmental conditions that are marked by persistent, ongoing challenges with social communication, interaction, as well as restricted and repetitive behavior patterns, interests, and activities. So, and autism-related challenges range from mild to severe and vary from each. If you see one person with autism, that's only one person. You can't cluster everyone else who you believe is autistic to be sharing the same condition, right? And they have different levels, and it is very diverse. Swahili, it is called Tawahudi, and it's usually Awareness Month is April. And some of the issues that you will see, I will dive on autism a bit because it is a bit complex. You will see there will be social differences that is inconsistent. Like eye contact, someone will not have eye contact. There will be difficulty interacting with other peers. And then you will find there will be differences in terms of high pain tolerance. They'll be picky eaters. They have sensitive, not like some textures. To cope, they will adopt behaviors like hand flapping, jumping, spinning, or rocking, which we call steaming. And then you find that they have in the way they do things. They like a specific order. If you see like during this time of the coronavirus, autistic people are suffering more because they're used to things being done in a specific way. And right now you see there is restriction in movement. There is how we have to do things is different. And they're being cut off from the things they're used to, like therapy and support. That is what keeps them calm and keeps them going. When it comes to milestones, yeah.
Actually mentioned that. If we go back to the conversation, how exactly are you coping with the situation at the moment?
At the moment, it's not easy, that I will say. So we have to learn to adjust. For us, this is a bit of we're used to when it comes to segregation. People are feeling weird because they cannot socialize. But you see, our children are already normally also put in a situation where they're isolated from community, not by liking, but because of the social stigma that is there. But you see, what makes it worse is we are not able to access like medication easily, we are not able to access therapy because most of all these children, the neurodiverse community requires therapy to keep them consistent in terms of even the fine motor skills. Fine motor skills is the basic things like picking a spoon, writing, all that takes communication from the brain and practice of your muscles for them to know this is how this is done. For you to coordinate your eye movement and your hand movement, you need to do a certain thing. So there is therapy, the same way we align muscles when they're in pain or they are injured. So these are services that we require that we are not having access to. Our lives are really, really affected by that because we are seeing regression also in our kids in terms.
In regard to the work that you're doing currently, and yes, hopefully the crowns that you wear at the moment, how is that work related to what you're trying to do in the society at the moment, especially in special need persons and any other thing that your work relates to?
The community to support us. We are fundraising to be able to take medication to these families. Remember, at this point, we're having people who have lost jobs and stuff like that. So they don't have medicine as a priority, while this child depends on this anticonvulsant medication so that they do not lose their brain functionality, because the brain gets convulsions. And also you'll find the development of the child to where you are now, if you stop, will also be affected and you'll see a bit of regression. So we are supplying families with food, medication, sanitary towels, and remember, issues in 10 and above and below, still on diapers. So we are also supplying them with diapers. And then now, basic masks and sanitizers, so that if they have to move about, of course, we have to keep them safe also. Because the last thing you need is a person with existing condition, have what we call morbid conditions. That is, you are maybe autistic and then you have epilepsy, or you have ADHD and you're still autistic, or you have learning disorders and at the same time you have a cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. So you find we need to keep them as safe as possible. So staying home is one of the key solutions that we have going at the moment. So we're trying to meet them at their point of need, because when we see the larger community looking at solutions, and well, the neurodiverse community has very specific solutions, then we're trying to interject also, and also have communication with government. All right. So like we've written to the committees and advising them. Even the Ministry of Education, if you notice, there is the TV series, but it's focusing on atypical children, but not the special needs person. No one has come and said, we're having a session for special children. You know, like we are always forgotten. So that's why we're raising awareness on what is going on, and we're trying to lobby so that government can also include our children, because at the end of the day, they count and they matter, and they too continue their life.
Talk about the government. The government has actually, how do I say this, promised or rather pledged to support the special needs people and persons with disabilities. How has that been for you? Have you seen it get down to your level?
I can say from the research that we have done as Andy Speaks, because data and analysis is one of the key areas that we focus on. I know many had but remember, this is across.
We lost something in translation there. Please repeat.
I'm saying right now, everyone believes there is persons with disabilities and all of us. But remember, there is the bigger umbrella, like you said, for disability. Then there is the detail. Our people, even looking at the registration with the body that is supposed to be our voice, that is the National Council, you will find after consultation, we have seen the data has been taken. I have not had a parent say that I have received the money, right? Because the first funding that came for COVID-19 went through the Ministry of Interior. That means the Nyumba Kumi initiative. Most families, and you look at someone like an autistic person with all the need and care that the parent has to raise this child 24/7. You can imagine you can't go out because something my child disappear. They look at this child who, for that moment, when you present them, when you walk into like a government office and say that my child has a disability, if I okay.
Okay, Sylvia.
Not gotten.
Oh, Sylvia.
Are we together?
Really, your internet again went intermittent, so just wanted to hear that again.
Okay, so I will. Now it's much better. Where did you lose me?
I lost you on so many good points. Immediately you finished after how our people, you keep saying our people. Actually, let me get back to that. You keep saying our people. Who exactly are our people?
Our people, I'm speaking on behalf of the neurodiverse community. This means persons with cerebral palsy, persons with autism spectrum, on the autism spectrum rather, persons with Down syndrome. We have those who have challenges, ADHD, and even the rare disease community, because you will find all of them share in the same challenges we do. So that's the community Andy Speaks represents. Needs. And when we're talking of special needs, it is really that's how it needs to be treated. Because when we put a blanket cause that disability should be like this and like this, you will find that they will miss out. Yet if you come to the household and from the families we look at, they're the ones who are suffering the most. Yet, because I can't even leave my child for 5 minutes, I might not get that time to go to that government office, expose my child who's at a higher risk once exposed outside, if they contract the disease, to go and say, I need this support, I need you to come and help me, this is the severity of my condition. So that's what I'm talking about. So we're asking about the support down to the community. Right now, it's all that on the ground that are coming through, but not through the government. Because I speaking on behalf of Andy Speaks, I've actually depended more on my friends and the social capital that I have than the government. Yet we're the ones who are supporting the people on the ground, and the government is the one that's supposed to be standing in the gap, especially at this.
Great. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that slide. Thank you for that. I want us to take a short break and then we'll get back to the questions sent in to us by our audience. But I would really like to again come back to the conversation about the special needs persons and persons with disabilities, and how exactly not only to differentiate them, but also know how are we supporting whichever community we are supporting, and are they under an umbrella or not. So see you after the break in a few minutes. Welcome back to Let's Create Africa, a program highlighting leaders and change makers in Africa. And today we have Miss Sylvia Moraa, Mochabo. Sylvia, I have a message on Twitter from Raphael. He asks, how exactly can we get to know about your work?
Oh, okay. We have our social pages that highlight every day what we're doing. On Twitter, we have conversations and awareness every day. That on Instagram, we have Andy Speaks for Special Africa. Then you also have a site that www.andy.org. And general awareness, like the disabilities we're talking about today, we have special needs in we created to educate the public and even parents. Remember, most of the times when a parent is told you have a special needs child, and we don't get really what this is, so you're out in the dark trying to get the right info on the disability and the challenges. Yes, so we have tried to pile all that and put it in one space. And you will find also every week we are having conversations with the general public and caregivers. So that is also available on our channel.
At Caroline Nyatichi, I hope I said that right. She's also asking, you've been doing a campaign. You've been doing a campaign since last week. How can we be part of that?
We have been doing a campaign to help us support the caregivers with anticonvulsant medication, because that is one of the most grieved and neglected pain points that our families have, because of all the stretch that every family is currently going through. So we are raising funds to be able to support parents with month's medication for their children to just keep them alive, because you can feed the child. If they don't have their medication, they are also at risk of fatality because of the effects of convulsions. Most people know it as epilepsy, but epilepsy they are related. And we are raising funds through our Mchanga account. That is, if you go to Mchanga and type and ANY, you can have our pay bill numbers. We're also welcoming donations through your. So we're also getting bonga points, so that at least that, even if it's like 100 bonga links, and then we have.
Hello, Sylvia. Your internet is a bit went down again.
It went down. Okay. Okay. Are we fine now?
I can hear you properly.
Yes. So people can also donate the number 0700 205 986.
We missed the last three digits.
The last digit is 986.
86. And this is where they can send in the bonga points, right?
Yes, that's where they can send in the bonga points. Just dial *126# and it will prompt you as to where to go. Then you can transfer your bonga points to us.
126#. Where exactly will we see you tomorrow? I hear you'll be on TV, so it will be interesting to actually look up for me.
I will be right here, still on Metropole TV.
Pardon me?
I'm saying tomorrow in the afternoon at around 1:45, I shall be here with you still on Metropole TV, as we champion to still continue raising awareness and at the same time raise funds so that we can support these families that need us the most. At the moment, we have been able, through partnerships and through the crowdfunding, we have been able to support around 100 plus families with medication. We have been able to support with food impact is around 200 families. So whichever way you can come through for us, we appreciate it. We are looking also at partnerships. It could be a corporate that would like to do something at this point and you don't know how to reach them. We're here for you. We can guide you because we have the database and we know exactly where the parents are and they need. And we are the country, all the way in Lamu, Siaya, we've gone all the way down to Diani, and because everywhere, because you can imagine right now medication, these special medicines are not reaching the rural parts. That's what I mentioned earlier. We're having conversations with the ministry to ensure that at least bare minimum, let's have the level of hospitals have some of these medications, and maintain the price, because there is one medicine that's not available, and the people who have it are charging, instead of the regular 40 shillings, we are buying it at 600. You understand? 145 up to 600. 600 is a box. Right now, someone was saying they bought at 3,200. So from 600 to 3,200, a tablet from 40 bob to 145. It's totally ridiculous. And remember, you are hanging on this medicine to just keep your child okay, so that they don't convulse. You know, most people don't get impact what convulsion does to a human being's brain. So you can imagine we have people dying from electrocution, right? So you can imagine, instead of now power electrocuting you, this high intensity electric voltage coming from your brain to the rest of your body. That means the functions that your body normally depends on your brain to control, you are losing that. So if you have convulsions over a very long period of time, you can either go brain dead or even die. That is the fact. And the severe people need to understand. And that's why we're doing this, because sometimes, unless you experience it in your life, you never know. A parent, when they have to sit at home looking at their child. I'll give you a story of one family that we just got a call, and they were like, of bread, right? That was for their kids.
Sorry, Sylvia?
We don't have. I'm saying, I'm just giving you an illustration of one of the story families that came to us. And they say they had 2 slices of bread, and that was what they were going to give their child, and they were ready to wait to die. That is the situation. When you ask, okay, your child is on medication, what are you doing? They bluntly, I cannot afford it. I'm not working. I understand, and my child is suffering, but what do I do? So that's why we're trying the best we can to, through our fundraisers, to just meet them at your point. Food and medication.
Before we wrap up, so you're talking about medicine. You need medicine.
Yes.
You need diapers. You need sanitary towels. Yes.
Yes.
You need food, because I mean, it's food. And
yes.
Any other donation that can be sent to you, but more specifically medicine. You need medicine, because from 40 shillings to 600 Kenya shillings is crazy. It's crazy. And this is the work that you're doing at the moment, currently during the pandemic, right?
This is our COVID-19 response for special needs families. We are raising funds for convalescents for children who are being affected.
What you're making specifically to the government that we can just pass out through here?
Yes. Now, if I had someone in government listening in, it would really, really help when we are creating solutions to involve the people who are affected, to advise, so that when we are coming up with solutions, then we are coming up with solutions that actually meet them at their point of need. I'll give you an example. If I go to the Ministry of Health, they have so much they're dealing with, right? If we can just narrow down, this can be handled by this department, we let you know what it is that we know we need, and you give us the airtime and make it a priority. What we are facing most of the time is your special needs persons, you're put aside that as a to-do list for later. Yet, need to continue. They are growing. They are the future of the nation. It's just because they are different, it doesn't make them any less. Their ability. Look at someone like the autistic. Mark Zuckerberg is autistic. If you look at Eminem, if we look at Steve Jobs was. So all these big creators, even our Microsoft founder is autistic. So what are we trying to say? Here we are neglecting them, yet we have a very great resource that if we raise them now when they are young, we are going to build a great future.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sylvia. Today's change maker was Miss Sylvia Mochabo, who's also Miss Africa Elite 2020 and the PWD advocate. Today we're talking about special needs persons, and she's talking about her community, talking about the people, talking about the work that she's doing during COVID-19 response. See you tomorrow, Sylvia. I'm looking forward to that, only on Metropole TV. Let's Create Africa. That's the episode, because Africa must change the way it tackles poverty. Thank you very much. Have a good day. God bless.